after you, my man.
Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. Anyone new? Anyone's first time? Okay, good number. We'll do like quick introductions. I think for those of you who have already been here, we won't keep doing them every single time. It just takes a while. But my name is Michael Macris. I'm a data scientist at Uber. And I did not start it. He did. But I'm helping organizing the meetings, doing a lot of the admin work. If this is your first time here, if you end up, if you want to stick around, if you want to come to more meetings and get involved, come to me at some point during this meeting. I'll add you to the Slack channel. That's where most of our communication takes place. We're trying not to fill up your inbox. But otherwise, let's just start with just hellos. If you're new, to say who you are, what you do. It doesn't have to be a data-related thing, but it's nice to know, what you do.
Hi, my name is Spike. From Massachusetts, just moved here from Washington, D.C. about a month ago. Worked at a company called NGO called PAP. And I guess I work on other projects.
I'm Shopper. I am also from Massachusetts, actually. I just moved to Boston about 6 months ago. I'm a data quality analyst for
Data quality? I could use one of these right now. Alexa.
With what website you work with?
So I'm just working with
She's at Amazon.
Okay, great. What do they have?
I work at Starbucks at Port Business at the time. Yeah, I'm Joe, a software engineer, small startup.
You guys do?
Schedule on that.
Anyone else? Sure. I don't think Ian's ever bought his little one before. we were saying introductions to new people, and I saw a small person back there. Oh, nice.
Yeah, those of you who are just joining me, I'm Paul, and I'm Matthew Dunn, taught at MIT, Georgia Tech, MIT Boston. That's actually key. And I've got a consulting company, and I started this organization a couple of years recently. Because of my I'm a writer.
Thank you. We're just gonna. We don't have a formal agenda tonight, but I don't think we're doing any sort of quick talk. That's why I'm just going to go.
Thank you. If you can see up on the wall here, we are hunting for project areas. We asked the meeting reason that we have some people. So right there is just an example of some of them, environmental, etc. I'm not going to read them all. So if you have any other project areas that you can think of that you think would have really good value, just email me at paul.privateer@gmail.com. Because if you think of something else, because it's obviously not totally. Sure, you want.
Why don't you come up?
Do you have any one of those candy canes? Yeah. She's too tired. Stop being such a weenie daddy. I love you.
What's his name here? No, he's not. Fuck.
Okay. My name's Ian. I'm joined the group, I don't know, many months ago. So, well, and I guess I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. I don't have much time left. But entrepreneur and consultant, I guess. I've done a bunch of startups and things like that. One of the things that we found in initial discussions, especially in the homelessness group, for instance, we were trying to approach Union Gospel Mission, and I think they weren't sort of answering the call. And I think part of it is they don't know who we are and what we are. We are a bunch of an online presence. We have a lot of different people with a lot of different interests and a lot of information flowing around. And so far we're using Slack, which is great, except it's linear and stuff kind of disappears above the fold fairly quickly. So a couple of weeks ago, we launched a project to create an online hub that's a part website, part project repository, and part almost CRM for potential clients who contact us and want to work with us.
So there's the sort of piece of like,
Yeah,
and
it's a wall. You can tell it a wall.
so one way to think of it is to sort of have this online hub and have a public-facing section that's sort of evergreen web content, describes the organization, and sort of who we are, what we do, and has a portfolio of case studies. We use some content to actually have case studies throughout the year. We have a client component to it. So if somebody wants to work with us, mission or an environmental group, nature conservancy, we'll have an ability for them to contact us and sort of describe what they're looking for and what they need. We're not trying to make it overly bureaucratic, but we want to make sure that we capture things fairly systematically and create a system where we can follow up, and also where we can get people involved. So another piece of it is there's a member dimension to it. That's all of us. And the idea here is that as people join the organization and sign up, we will ask you to fill out a survey about what your skills and interests are. And the idea is that on the one side, we have clients coming in and say, I have all this data on whatever it is, and I want to solve this problem. And then we have a catalog of members and what skills are there, and so we can more easily match the two together and sort of decrease the friction of the information flowing around. Right now, there's a lot of things potentially flowing through the crack. Sorry, didn't realize we were broadcasting. Hello, everybody. I should have brought my lights, so I just that. And then on the back end, there's sort of a project area. So we have public facing, we have members and clients, and then the idea is we'll create a set of infrastructure that's not meant to be, sort of a 4-digit project management, daily management kind of stuff that you probably used to work with, sort of higher level milestones and tasks, so that we can give each other visibility into our projects and get suggestions or help if we want it, and sort of have access to the resources, to a capital of the organization. For those of you who have done kind of web stuff before, we're doing it on WordPress with the back end is powered by BuddyPress and BuddyPress. So essentially it gives us the ability to create an unlimited self-created, self-govern and unlimited number of groups, and pretty much unlimited permission levels. So if you decide you just want to have private conversations between two people, you can do that. If you decide you want to create a website for a project or an interest area, so you do that. And membership can be anything from just yourself to whatever that's such as 30 people. Any questions, comments? We're moving forward on it pretty aggressively. As of today, it doesn't exist. So we'll get something up and running by the end of the year, and then the process of continuing. One of the endpoints, yeah.
So what do you see Slack playing out in the future of this?
We'll move over from Slack to their platform at some point.
Okay.
We'll let you know when that occurs in advance.
Yeah, nobody's looking to sort of force a tool or whatever down anybody's throat. What we're trying to do is we're sort of recognizing that
there are some challenges in organizing such a loosely coalition of people. We've got 400 more people who've notionally shown an interest in it, but obviously a much smaller group who's active on a day-to-day basis. And there's a group of sort of workers out there, according to the survey that we did. It says, like, it sounds really interesting. I'll see what happens, and if it looks like it's worthwhile, I'll get involved. So we want to make it a little bit easier for people to get involved who aren't necessarily.
Yeah, I really personally noticing that this is not a website. The website is sort of a dead end. It's just really something that's going on. And the notes on it are not because what I do is that that's another thing. Groups that are for us, projects that come to us, durable, not durable, so it's much different. And the fact that incorporates the public side of the website.
Yeah, and this is a very short version. There's kind of another dimension to it, which is all the social media channels. And, with WordPress, how many people are familiar with WordPress or developing a little bit of it? So some people. One of the interesting things, we can develop our evergreen content. You ask for a meeting, somebody will look this up and you can see pictures of what you can see on the website and stuff. But more than that, as the project, as people, for instance, 2 examples. Someone, and I can't remember who, found a really interesting article on the Guardian or something, and like wrote a summary on it, put it on Slack. Well, it was really interesting to the 8 of us who saw it, but it's not doing much of a good on that. So with the WordPress platform, that person has a user ID, they can make a blog post about that article, it can get tweeted out, or whatever, a variety of social media, and it'll start to generate conversations and obviously elevate us in search engines. Michael founded an event that City of Seattle was having about planning, where they were looking for technology and policy. We can advertise that, and the more things like that that we have to show up on our site and we blog about it and we get out through social media channels, we would like to be the hub for everybody who's interested in sort of public data science in Seattle. So it's fairly ambitious, but fortunately, that's some pretty powerful tools on the shelf to at least get us started. And again, we have a fairly technically savvy group, so it'll be relatively easier to get all this stuff up and running with people, partners in this development as opposed to just kind of.
More details to come, but I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess he's eating all this really preparing the whole lake.
Okay, all right. So last night, just in case you want to say anything else, last night, those of us who are members of the planning group on Slack, which anyone can be a part of, just join that channel to make sure you're included on those conversations. We had a meeting over WebEx to just discuss like ongoing planning stuff, including we reviewed the survey, and I'm sure we'll set a date on when we're gonna like talk about that. Like it's interesting, but I don't know if we need to spend time here. Mostly it's kind of what you'd expect. Like it's a summary of what people do professionally, what they hope to get out of it, and why they come to the meetings. So we're trying to address that, make it a little easier to come. There's a proposal that we do an East Side smaller version of the meetup that may just be like a workshop session. So for people who want to work there on a project locally, you don't have to drive all the way here. That may happen. One of our members, I think David, is going to head that up. So we hope to hear more about that coming soon. Otherwise, I had a kind of thought, and this is in no way like official. I've had a couple questions about people who are like looking for jobs, and at the same time, it occurred to me that like maybe not everyone knows like the basic like skill set that we all may take for granted. 2, I kind of threw up on the board is what I thought. If anyone doesn't have like working knowledge of like Git or like web scraping and you want to, I am happy to organize. I may not be the one teaching it, but I'm happy to organize like quick info sessions on those things. I think if we have working groups, we should be like using repos for like starters. That's just like good data etiquette these days. So if you don't know what Git is or you don't know how to use it, why don't you hit me up and we can kind of chat after this and we can kind of figure out if there's like a best way forward, whether it's just giving you resources where to go read or doing our own kind of learning session and workshop on it. same thing with web scraping. And if you come up with anything else, if there's anything else you've kind of heard and you thought like, I wish someone could just show that to me because reading about it online is really slow. Like, I'm happy to like help you find the right person to teach you that kind of stuff. We're not going to do like Python versus R right now. We can talk about that, but like those are like, if you don't know either one of those, maybe then come talk to me and we can kind of find you the right person to be your mentor on like data analysis tools or Tableau or whatever you're at. I don't have necessarily any to do with anything else.
No, I think, well, I think it's really nice to have a holiday today. Yeah, we plan to keep them, get the day here, it's very nice. We see this one, but we've got another two.
So that reminds me, we do now have our schedule for the whole next year set. If you haven't read any of the messages I sent out, we have an iCal calendar, so you can just like link to our calendar off yours. They'll be on there for the rest of the year, so we don't. For everyone who's been saying it's been hard to figure out when they are, they're literally set for the entirety of 2017. I think the only date that may change is we're supposed to meet on like Halloween, so maybe we'll change that one, or we'll cancel that one. But otherwise, they're all pretty normal dates. So you can go ahead and schedule those. And figure out when you're able to attend. One more thing you made me think I wanted to say, but I can't think of it right now. So otherwise tonight it was just like, it's just a chance to like present any work you find, join a group if you're new. If anyone's brought anything in, they're a good time to show it.
Question. Should all of us, when we are involved in projects, should we have a similar project template? Yeah. So that I was question, should we have something that says in essence, this is kind of the sequencing that projects need to involve. So that's something just to think about. How that project is going to look like. See whether the best part of all of this. Because I'll tell you, I've been involved in hackathons, and right where it fails and why it fails is because people expect to come there and have all these expectations, right? Some people want to come and just start pulling data sets, cranking out, trying to do something. Others want to do more research. Really, what others want to know, let's discover a problem. So it's really a whole different motives that are aggregating and looking for it. And this organization is not going to fail. It won't fail because we're going to have, in a sense, a really good management of the various values that you come to with. So you won't feel, oh, I did this meeting, I have a activity, but I won't leave it. Because we're assuming that you're going to be inputting the kinds of things that will make your organization strong. And to go one step further, what I vision is that Seattle Data for Good becomes the mothership for every other city that develops a version of this, because we are now working with some people in Denver and Chicago to kind of emulate the version. The idea. One of the things I was going to tell you, and it would be really nice to have on that hub when Seattle produces a project that they really has some big solution value. We can post that to a larger inventory, some kind of archive. For all other cities, other Denvers and whatever, they can post theirs too. So that really what all of the data for good across the country is going to do is creating a national library of solutions that can be used by groups in other cities and countries. So I really want you people to feel that you've got a role in the dynamic value of this organization as you go forward. That you're not just coming here and you're shopping for a product, but you really have a valuable presence. Involvement in the subject. Yeah. Right, but you it's really interesting, the model that you constructed here could very well be a template that then Denver uses, and other cities just grab it and use it. Okay. You guys understand how the country works, you have a lot of people that do it.
So one last call to action before I think we split off. The one survey result is that one of the things that people said they wanted most at these meetings was actually talks by people not in data, but like who work like for a homeless organization, that work for the city Department of Transportation. If I don't know that many of those people, but if any of you guys do, I ask you to please reach out to them. See if you know anyone who works in homelessness or transportation or the environment. You may not be working in one of those groups here, but if you'd be willing to ask them if they want to come and talk about their experience and what the needs are in their sector, a lot of other people here may want to hear them. So this is just a call to action. If any of you know those people, let me know. Just send me an email. I'm happy to contact them, or you can do the same. We'd love to have people come in and talk about what it's like to really work in the trenches. Yeah. But otherwise, I think we're done with any sort of admin stuff. So any questions? Great, cool.
For some of the team in a little past time, don't you say hi and introduce yourself, please?
A little bit drainage and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that before.
Anybody else doing it? Okay. So what we're doing right now is essentially just we've got health people over there, we have homelessness over here. What are you guys working on? Yeah. So there was a person here a couple meetings that was quoting the energy.
Yeah, I don't think he can anymore.
Yeah, he's not coming anymore, but maybe calling something. But so under that rubric of ecological, environmental, just give it a little time. Okay. All right, any other pockets of interest that you really want to?
So I talked last night with a guy from called the Center for Reason. They made book record requests from the Seattle Police Department. They have a number of databases, where every police car was, checked in every 30 seconds over a 5-year period. Every traffic infraction that was issued, every dispatch request that was made, what officers told what location, when they were dispatched, when they arrived, when they left. They are interested in setting this up into right now. These are each on separate laptops. They want to put it into a data warehouse and develop some data manipulation tools and search tools for
What do you think the value of that right now?
so there are a number of things. One is that
Here's the biggest value.
so it would allow monitoring for city officials that wouldn't come directly that wouldn't come from the brand, that also may not be restricted by the police union. It could also be a resource for defense attorneys and defendants to identify that, everyone who looked at these 5 body cam videos also looked at these 3. Maybe you should go check those 3 out.
So this would be a database that would essentially.
That there are perhaps valid things that could be done as well.
Just as kind of an extension of that Harvard Business Review put out an article about, we could really talk about some of the trappings of being a big for good organization. I'm going to send that out. But one of the things that we found out that and that was the, I think this was in Massachusetts, and they were spending something like $400 million with people having to be jailed rather than being put on bond. So the state was currently immense costs for incarcerating people waiting for the trial. And they use an algorithm, machine learning and whatnot, to come out with a factor of what kind of factors would really be present for the highest number of people who could be bonded and not split. And they came up with a way of making these determinations, and then the court used that, and the judge would then look at that and then find out, okay, this person in front of me, even though it's a battery case or whatever, they have a high likelihood of becoming back in bond. So let's bond this guy rather than put him in prison. And so we cut that cost of 400 down to something like 160 million. So that's what I'm suggesting in a way that kind of stuff is cool. For a number of reasons.
There's also a concern with that. There's been some use cases where, depending on what data's been fed in, some algorithms have been found to be very racist.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because if, it's just it's a very difficult area that I don't know the bounds of what we're willing to take on here, but there's a big philosophical element that goes into that as well.
And I think this article did talk about that. The paragraph about the data was absolutely, they did not look at the ethnic factor of any of these data sets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a plug on it. Yeah. Let's give everyone. So
You like to plug things.
no, I like to be efficient with our time.
Somebody could just get up and start.
If anyone wants to talk to Paul about that, I invite you to do so. But otherwise, I know. I just want. Okay. You're free to split up. George, I think, is going to be heading up homelessness, at least for tonight, maybe into the future. So if you're interested in homelessness, talk to George. Sue, healthcare. Sue and Amber, healthcare. Energy back there. Anyone from transportation, or is that one completely okay? Transportation back there. There was no one like last week. I think it was a little skeptical. Policing, good government, that kind of stuff. I guess for now, David up here. Otherwise, free to go.